9 boundaries men set that turn women on. Modern Stoic. Welcome to our channel. It's Blessing of Stoic, where you find interesting and useful knowledge from the Stoic philosophers to lead a happy and good life. Gentlemen, let's dive into a concept that many men misunderstand when it comes to attraction. Society often teaches you that to win a woman's heart, you must be endlessly kind, always at her beck and call, and put your own needs on the back burner. But what if I told you that the exact opposite might be the key to drawing her in? What if setting the right boundaries doesn't push women away, but actually pulls them closer today? We'll uncover 10 powerful boundaries that, when set correctly, will make women say, "Now that's a man I respect." And no, it's not about being cold or controlling. It's about knowing your worth and acting accordingly. Let's break this down. Love is not about possession. It's about appreciation. Unknown. Number 1. Not always being available. Don't make the mistake of being always available. You're not doing yourself any favors. If you're constantly dropping what you're doing to answer calls, respond to texts, or adjust your plans for others, you're not showing strength or independence. Instead, you're displaying neediness. A man who is always available, always eager to please, comes off as someone with no purpose or direction. That's not the image of a man who is desirable. A modern Stoic, on the other hand, understands the value of his time. He's not at the mercy of others' demands. He has his own goals, passions, and routines that he prioritizes. His world is his own. The blessing of Stoicism lies in the idea of living life for your own purpose, not to fulfill the needs of others. When you make time for yourself first, it sends a powerful message that you're not dependent on the approval or attention of others. This is the kind of behavior that's magnetic, not only because it reflects confidence, but because it shows you have a life outside of the people around you. This independence isn't about being cold or unapproachable. It's about respecting your own time, your own interests, and creating a healthy space where mystery thrives. That mystery draws people in. It leaves them wondering what you're up to, what you're focused on, and what you're achieving. This curiosity builds attraction because it creates a tension that's both exciting and intriguing. Women are naturally drawn to men who know what they want and don't need validation to feel important. When you're always available, you remove that sense of mystery. The constant accessibility makes you seem desperate, like you're waiting around for the next person to demand your attention. But when you create space, when you balance your interests with genuine care for the people you choose to engage with, you stand out as someone of high value. You show that you're grounded in your own life, and that you're not just living to please others. The old Stoic understood the importance of this balance. He wasn't distant or detached for the sake of being mysterious, but because he knew that a man who values his time and energy is far more attractive than one who bends over backward to be available at all times. That is the core of confidence. It's the recognition that your time is precious, and you will not squander it just to be at the beck and call of others. A man who can set healthy boundaries, who can say no when necessary, creates the kind of emotional tension that is irresistible. You must take this to heart. Don't be afraid to say no, to prioritize your own passions, and to remain focused on your goals. This is what makes you stand out as high value. Your ability to balance interest with independence will always be more attractive than simply being there for others at all times. The blessing of Stoicism is learning to live on your own terms, unaffected by the constant demand for your attention. So, don't fall into the trap of being overly accessible. Be the kind of man who creates mystery, who balances presence with purpose, and who lives a life that doesn't revolve around pleasing others. That is the power of a modern Stoic man. Number 2, not chasing validation. Gentlemen, listen closely. A man who doesn't chase validation is a rare breed in a world where most people are addicted to approval. He's not out there flexing his muscles with flashy words or performing exaggerated gestures to get attention. No, a Stoic man stands firm in his quiet confidence. He knows who he is and doesn't need to prove it to anyone. He doesn't chase compliments because he's secure in himself. He doesn't rely on someone else's praise or reaction to feel good about his worth. His value is already built in. It's self-assured, rock solid. This is where Stoicism comes into play. The Stoic life isn't about seeking constant validation or wearing your achievements like a badge of honor for others to admire. Instead, a modern Stoic understands that true confidence comes from within, not from external sources. A man who doesn't chase validation moves through life with an energy that can't be faked. It's a kind of self-assurance that radiates without needing words. You must realize this: when you stop looking for validation, you immediately gain control over your own life. You no longer depend on others to tell you who you are. That kind of energy is magnetic. It makes you seem grounded, calm, and in full control of your world. Women are naturally drawn to this. Why? Because it feels real, it feels safe. A man who isn't trying to impress anyone exudes an air of authenticity. And there's nothing more attractive than authenticity. When a man doesn't need to boast or seek approval, he carries himself with an unspoken confidence. He doesn't need to shout, "I'm great." He simply shows it in his actions, in how he carries himself through life. Imagine this: a man who doesn't need to fish for compliments, doesn't have to wait around for approval. He is his own approval. Say it. That's the blessing of Stoicism. It's a life where you don't measure your worth by the reactions of others, but by your own internal compass. A Stoic understands that external validation is fleeting, and real power comes from the inside. Be clear on this: chasing validation is a sign of insecurity. A Stoic man doesn't need to prove anything to anyone because his value is not defined by anyone else's opinion. It's unshakable. When you let go of the need to chase validation, something amazing happens. You become a man who is in control of his own narrative. Your confidence isn't tied to how others perceive you. It's tied to who you truly are. Women find this irresistible because it creates a sense of calm in the chaos of the world. There's something magnetic about a man who moves through life with assurance, knowing that he doesn't need to chase approval, but rather creates his own. Let this be your mantra. You must stop chasing validation. Start focusing on what truly matters, what you want, your values, and your purpose. With every step you take away from seeking validation, you step closer to becoming the man you are meant to be. This is a Stoic lesson. The Stoic life teaches us to find peace within ourselves, not in the fleeting reactions of others. You must stop looking outside yourself for approval and instead turn inward to find the strength and validation you need to truly thrive. That is what makes a man powerful. That is what makes you magnetic. So don't waste time chasing approval or waiting for someone to notice how great you are. Be the man who knows his worth and stands firm in it. That kind of man, the modern Stoic, doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. He simply is. And that is the most attractive quality a man can have. If you believe true confidence comes from within and not from validation, drop a comment right now. I am secure in who I am. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remember, true power is silent, not desperate. Number 3, not tolerating disrespect. commitment, you must set boundaries that reflect your self-respect, emotional control, and inner strength. One of the most powerful boundaries you can draw is not tolerating disrespect. This is the cornerstone of modern Stoic behavior. It's about understanding your worth and making it clear to others that you won't accept anything less. It's about having the mental and emotional discipline to maintain your dignity, regardless of how others behave. When a woman sees that you have the courage to stand firm against sarcasm disguised as jokes, passive, aggressive comments, or dismissive behavior, she sees a man who values himself. I value myself too much to accept anything less than respect. This isn't about being confrontational or combative. It's about being calm, direct, and unaffected by the petty games people play. That quiet strength, that unwavering presence, is magnetic. You are not moved by disrespect, because you know that no one is worthy of your time if they cannot meet your standards. The Stoic principles, taught by Marcus Aurelius and others, emphasize that emotional control is power. Control your emotions or they will control you. When in the same vein, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. Disrespect is a reflection of the other person, not you. If you tolerate it, you are telling the world that you don't believe in your own values. When you don't tolerate disrespect, you show yourself assurance and maturity. This boundary is an act of Stoic resilience. You're creating an unshakable foundation for yourself, where no one can erode your sense of worth. This boundary demands a commitment to emotional mastery. The more you practice it, the stronger you become. You don't bend, you don't break, you stay centered. You become a person who demands respect, not through words, but through actions. Others feel this sense of steadiness, and it naturally draws them to you. The boundary of refusing disrespect isn't just a defense mechanism, it's an invitation for others to treat you with the same high regard that you treat yourself. You must draw this line and never waver. Stand firm and make sure you never tolerate anything less than respect. This is how you attract women who value you for who you truly are, and not for some false persona you feel pressured to embody. You embody the Stoic warrior, unbothered, unshakable, and worthy. Number 4, rejecting its dynamics. Rejecting its dynamics is one of the most powerful boundaries a modern Stoic man can set, and it will drive women wild. Men who embrace this boundary demonstrate that they have mastered the blessing of Stoicism and understand the importance of emotional balance in a relationship. This is not about being cold or indifferent, but rather about knowing when to step back and allow space for growth. Don't be the guy who constantly feels the need to fix things or play the role of the emotional rescuer. You're not a therapist, and you shouldn't have to bear the weight of someone else's problems. In fact, that is a surefire way to head straight into emotional burnout. A man with a strong sense of self and clarity about his own emotional needs knows that offering support without taking on burdens that aren't his is key. He may say something simple yet powerful like, "I care about you, but I can't be the one to fix everything." This single statement, asserting the boundary, sends a clear message that you value a healthy dynamic based on mutual respect, not emotional dependency. Women find this incredibly refreshing because it creates the space for a partnership to flourish, where both individuals are responsible for their own emotional well-being. This is far from being neglectful or unsupportive. In fact, it's the opposite. It shows that you're emotionally mature and secure enough to offer support without trying to control or save anyone. You're not interested in playing the role of a superhero or a fixer, and that is incredibly attractive. You're looking for a relationship where both partners bring something to the table. one that encourages growth and avoids the toxicity of unhealthy dependency. That's what a modern Stoic does. He draws the line when needed, stays true to himself, and encourages others to do the same. This clarity and strength earn him profound respect. Women deeply appreciate a man who isn't afraid to set boundaries, who stands firm in his emotional clarity and maintains a sense of healthy detachment. This approach fosters a partnership rooted in mutual respect and genuine connection, free from the constant need for saving or fixing. Rejecting fix. Dynamics isn't about avoiding emotional intimacy or avoiding care for your partner's needs. It's about drawing the line between where your responsibility ends and where your partner's emotional journey begins. This is a hallmark of the modern Stoic man, the one who embraces the blessing of Stoicism and isn't afraid to set the boundaries that lead to stronger, more balanced relationships. He shows that he's not there to take on someone else's emotional baggage, but to grow and build something meaningful together. Women are drawn to that strength and clarity because it makes them feel seen, heard, and respected. This type of emotional maturity is a rare and precious trait, and it will attract the right kind of woman who understands the value of mutual growth and partnership. So, don't shy away from setting these boundaries. Be the man who knows the importance of emotional balance, who values partnership over rescue, and who walks with clarity in his relationships. That's what makes you stand out in a world full of confusion and emotional chaos. The old Stoic wisdom still applies. Know your limits, set your boundaries, and watch how respect and admiration flow your way. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. Number 5, refusing to over-explain yourself. Refusing to explain yourself is one of the most powerful boundaries a modern Stoic man can set. It speaks volumes about yourself, confidence, and emotional control. Don't fall into the trap of constantly needing to justify your actions or seek approval. In fact, that's not your job. The truth is simple: when you stand firm in your beliefs and trust that your choices don't need constant explanation, you radiate a sense of inner strength that others, especially women, find magnetic. It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about being emotionally mature enough to know that you don't owe anyone a detailed explanation for your every move. You're not asking for permission, you're simply living by your values. And that's what makes you stand out. This boundary is an essential Stoic lesson. In the Stoic life, the focus is on living according to your own principles, not trying to win the approval of others. The modern Stoic doesn't feel the need to over-explain. He understands that actions speak louder than words. His choices reflect his character, and his behavior doesn't require constant validation. Whether it's in your relationships, at work, or in social settings, you don't need to justify yourself at every turn. Your strength lies in your ability to maintain calm and clarity in your actions, without apologizing or second-guessing yourself. Women find this type of self-assurance incredibly attractive because it shows you're emotionally grounded and not swayed by the opinions of others. It's the kind of quiet strength that demands respect without shouting for it. In today's world, Mark, where people often feel the need to explain themselves constantly or seek reassurance, your refusal to explain becomes a breath of fresh air. You've set a boundary that says, "I don't need to convince you I am who I am, and my actions will prove it." This creates a sense of mystery and intrigue around you. The more you embrace this boundary, the more others will want to know what drives you, what makes you tick, and why you don't feel the need to explain every choice you make. This quiet leadership born from emotional maturity, naturally draws people toward you. And let's be honest, women are particularly drawn to this type of energy because it shows that you are the kind of man who is secure in himself and his decisions. The beauty of this boundary is that it also frees you from the emotional burden of constantly justifying your actions. You don't have to scramble to make others understand you or apologize for having boundaries. Instead, you become a living example of Stoicism, where you let your actions and your steady presence speak for themselves. That's the essence of the Stoic life, acting in alignment with your values, regardless of external opinions or pressures. The modern Stoic understands that explaining often stems from a need for validation, and he refuses to give in to that temptation. So, be the man who doesn't over-explain. Be the man who stands firm in his decisions and knows that he doesn't need to justify every choice he makes. This approach, deeply rooted in the principles of Stoicism, will make you infinitely more attractive to women. You're not seeking approval, you're living your truth. That quiet strength, that emotional maturity is exactly what draws others to you. And it's what will set you apart in a world that's constantly looking for reassurance. Trust in your own power, and let your actions speak for themselves. Women will respect and admire that more than any long-winded explanation ever could. That's the modern Stoic way, and it works. Number 6, asserting emotional boundaries. Asserting emotional boundaries is one of the most powerful demonstrations of strength, maturity, and self-control a man can show. In a world where emotions often dictate our actions and words, the ability to remain calm, clear, and composed, especially during tense moments, is not only rare but deeply attractive. This is the essence of Stoicism, mastering your emotions instead of letting them master you. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This principle lies at the heart of emotional boundaries. When you're able to pause, take a deep breath, and then assert calmly. I'm happy to talk this through when we're both level-headed. It does more than just escalate a situation. It demonstrates that you have control over yourself. It's not about suppressing your emotions. It's about managing them with wisdom and clarity. When you do this, you show that you're not governed by knee-jerk reactions, but instead, you're in full control of your emotional landscape. In those moments, the power you project is magnetic. You're not allowing the heat of the moment to control your behavior. You're choosing how to respond, which speaks volumes about your strength and stability. This ability to assert emotional boundaries is incredibly attractive to women. It signals that you are someone who can create a safe space in the midst of chaos. Think about it in any tense situation. Most people let their emotions run wild, leading to unnecessary drama and conflict. But a man who maintains his calm in the storm doesn't just survive, he thrives. When you choose not to get caught up in the heat of an argument, but instead, take control of your emotions and set boundaries, it sends a clear message you value the relationship and you respect both your partner and yourself. You are not only preserving the emotional balance of the situation, but you're also preventing future resentment. Women find this kind of emotional steadiness deeply attractive because it shows maturity and emotional intelligence. It demonstrates that you're someone who doesn't let little things escalate into bigger issues. You are a man of self-discipline, someone who values constructive dialogue and resolution over conflict and drama. And in a world where emotional instability can run rampant, that's a breath of fresh air. Setting emotional boundaries isn't just about stopping an argument or preventing a meltdown. It's about maintaining an environment where healthy communication can take place without unnecessary emotional interference. This is a quality that women respect. They don't want to feel as though every disagreement is going to spiral into a major fight or leave behind a trail of hurt feelings. By setting boundaries with calm authority, you're giving them the reassurance that any issue, no matter how tense, can be addressed with respect and understanding. You're demonstrating that your relationship can withstand pressure because you have the maturity and control to handle it. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic principles. As Stoicism teaches, we cannot control the events around us, but we can always control how we respond. In life, things will go wrong. People will disappoint you. Conflicts will arise. But how you respond in those moments is what truly matters. You have the power to decide whether you're going to let emotions take control or if you're going to remain calm in the storm. When you assert emotional boundaries, you're not just managing your feelings. You're demonstrating that you have command over yourself, and that kind of control is magnetic. Take a step back and think about the men who inspire you. The ones who don't react impulsively to challenges, but instead meet life's difficulties with calm and reason. These are the men who understand their own power. They embody Stoic principles. They don't let the world shape their reactions. Instead, they shape their own reactions. And when they do this, people are drawn to them. Women, in particular, are drawn to men who can remain calm in the face of adversity. They find this level of self-discipline, emotional control, and maturity incredibly appealing because it shows a high level of emotional intelligence and resilience. You need to master this skill if you want to be the kind of man who commands respect and attraction. It isn't about being cold or detached. It's about being strong enough to choose when and how to engage emotionally. So the next time tension rises, remember to assert those emotional boundaries. Don't be swept away by the chaos mood. Instead, stand firm. Show that you have the strength to remain composed. This is the path to emotional mastery, and the key to being a man women find irresistible. By mastering this skill, you are not just becoming a better partner, you are becoming a more powerful version of yourself. That is the power of Stoicism in modern life. That is the power of emotional control. Embrace it, master it, and watch how it transforms your life and relationships. If you find this valuable, like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I am emotionally steady and value healthy communication. This affirmation reflects the importance of asserting emotional boundaries, showing maturity, and handling emotions with respect. Number 7, prioritizing personal growth. You must understand that prioritizing personal growth isn't just a preference. It's a powerful boundary that turns heads and ignites desire. A man who continually seeks improvement isn't just a man with ambition. He's a force with purpose. Modern Stoics know this all too well. The blessing of Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about rising above mediocrity in every facet of life. A man who commits to learning, honing new skills, and advancing in his career is a man who projects strength and discipline. When a man invests time and energy into his physical and mental health, he's not just improving himself. He's reinforcing the notion that he isn't willing to settle for anything less than the best version of himself. And women notice, it's magnetic. This drive signals that you are in control of your own life, that you are a man of action who values progress, growth, and the pursuit of excellence. The old Stoics taught that self-awareness and self-control are essential for a truly fulfilled life, and the modern Stoic embraces this philosophy fully. This energy, This unwavering commitment to constant self-betterment is an invitation to greatness. You must embody this energy. Be this man who refuses to become complacent, and watch how it draws women towards you. Don't underestimate the allure of ambition combined with discipline. It's more than attractive. It's captivating. A man who constantly strives to improve isn't just someone who will be good in a relationship. He will elevate that relationship, challenging his partner to grow alongside him. Prioritize your personal growth. Keep moving forward. That is what turns women on. The energy of a man who is ever growing, ever evolving, is a boundary that says, I am not here to waste time. I am here to be the best version of myself, and I expect nothing less from those around me. This modern Stoic mindset isn't about perfection. It's about progress, and that is a boundary you need to set. Number 8, being comfortable with silence. You must understand this. Being comfortable with silence isn't just about avoiding awkward moments. It's about exuding a quiet confidence and a sense of self-sufficiency that speaks volumes. In a world where so many feel the need to fill every moment with chatter, the Stoic man knows that silence isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. Silence, when handled with grace, reveals emotional depth, maturity, and an inner peace that many struggle to find. The Stoic lessons teach us that emotional stability is key to living a balanced life. And it's exactly this stability that makes a man who is comfortable with silence so incredibly attractive. Think about it. A man who doesn't feel the need to entertain or be entertained at every turn has mastered one of the most profound elements of the Stoic life: contentment in solitude. He enjoys the presence of others not by filling the space with endless words, but by simply being. That is an aura of emotional maturity that draws people in, especially women. A man who can sit quietly, whether in the company of others or alone, is a man who has learned to be content with who he is. His silence is not awkward. It's powerful. It shows that he's comfortable with himself. He doesn't need to constantly seek validation or keep talking just to fill the void. This doesn't mean he's shy or introverted. It means he's emotionally stable and knows that sometimes the most meaningful moments are those of quiet connection. That's what the Stoic life teaches us, that peace comes not from constant stimulation or noise, but from embracing stillness and reflection. This is a boundary you must set. Don't feel compelled to speak just for the sake of it. Silence is a space where the strongest connections can occur. Think of the moments when you've been with someone, and words weren't necessary. The simple presence of each other, without the need to fill the gaps with noise, creates a connection that speaks louder than anything said. This kind of peace is magnetic. Women see it, they feel it. It's not just about being quiet, it's about what your silence says about you. You are self-sufficient. You are comfortable with who you are. You don't need to perform, entertain, or prove anything. Don't make the mistake of thinking that silence is awkward or uncomfortable. It's not. Silence is an art, and mastering it is a direct reflection of your emotional maturity and your understanding of the Stoic lessons. The Stoic life isn't about speaking constantly or filling every second with noise. It's about creating moments of peace where you can sit with your thoughts, reflect, and simply be. This ability to be at peace with yourself in silence isn't just a great personal quality, it's incredibly attractive to women. It signals that you are not ruled by the need for constant external validation. You must learn to embrace the power of silence and recognize that it communicates a quiet strength that words often fail to convey. That is the essence of emotional stability, and it is the kind of boundary that will make women see you as a man who is secure, grounded, and in complete control of his emotions. If you've made it this far, you understand that true strength comes from standing firm in your values, no matter the pressure. It's what sets you apart and makes you incredibly attractive. Now, take action and show that you're committed to this path. Comment, "I stand firm in my values and embrace true strength." Let's hear from you. Number 9, holding firm to your values. You want to be the kind of man who stands firm in his values, right? A man who can weather any storm, hold his ground, and never waver, no matter the pressure. Women notice that, in a world where everyone seems to bend and shift to please others. A man who stays grounded in his principles becomes a beacon of authenticity. His words align with his actions. That's what builds trust and respect. Don't think for a second that values like honesty, loyalty, and integrity are just buzzwords. They're the very foundation of your character. The world might try to drag you down into the murky waters of compromise, but you must hold firm to your values. Be the man who is unshakable. Be the man who doesn't let the tides of popular opinion pull him off course. When you commit to your values, you're demonstrating something that transcends the temporary allure of what's popular. You're showing the world that you're not just another man trying to fit into a mold. Instead, you're an individual, a leader, a man who doesn't bend his principles to please others. This is a man who has learned the Stoic lessons of self, control, and resilience. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that external forces cannot dictate our worth or happiness. Our inner values are what truly matter. If you're someone who always gives in to pressure, always agrees with others just to avoid conflict, you'll never command respect. Women don't want a man who is easily swayed or who doesn't stand up for what he believes in. What they want is someone who is authentic, real, and strong in his sense of self. Women crave consistency, not instability. They want to know that when you commit to something, whether it's a relationship or an idea, you'll follow through. Be the man who keeps his word. Think about it. A Stoic life isn't about avoiding emotions or shutting people out. It's about maintaining your integrity regardless of external circumstances. Stoicism teaches us that life will throw all kinds of challenges at us. Temptations, conflicts, opinions, but we must stay true to ourselves. In the same way, when you stay consistent with your values, you build a level of trust that most men can't even dream of achieving. That trust is attractive. It's magnetic. A woman will never feel secure in a relationship if she can't rely on her partner to stay true to who he is. Don't falter when things get tough. Life is full of distractions and pressures that try to knock you off your path. But the Stoic approach is simple. Stay the course. Women respect a man who doesn't bend in the face of adversity. They're drawn to his strength. When your values are unwavering, you become a pillar of reliability. A man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to stand by it. To truly understand the power of holding firm to your values, look at the wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius. He taught that we cannot control what happens around us, but we can always control our reaction. You, too, can control how you respond to the world. By remaining firm in your values, you demonstrate emotional control and fortitude. You're not letting the chaos of the world dictate your inner peace. When you demonstrate this kind of strength, not only do you gain the respect of women, but you also earn their admiration. Women are drawn to men who show strength, who are consistent, and who make decisions based on solid principles. They can trust that you will make the right choice, even when the world pushes you in the opposite direction. Be the man who has an unshakable sense of integrity. This is what true strength looks like. At the end of the day, women are looking for a man who will be there, no matter the challenges. They want someone who doesn't just talk a good game but lives by his words. They want someone who can weather any storm, someone who knows that his values are non-negotiable. By standing firm in your values, you create a foundation for a deep, meaningful relationship. So, don't bend to pressure. Don't let the opinions of others steer you away from who you are. Be the man who stands tall, who stays true to his principles, and who doesn't flinch when faced with adversity. That is the man who commands respect, who attracts women looking for something real and lasting. Live the Stoic life, embrace your values, hold firm to them, and watch as your relationships flourish. So, there you have it. Boundaries aren't about building walls. They're about setting the standard for how you deserve to be treated. Remember, being clear and confident about your limits is one of the best ways to attract respect and build meaningful relationships. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more straight talk dating strategies. Take care and see you in the next one. Stoicism. 8 signs she wants you to approach her. Modern Stoic. When you love, you give, not because you expect something in return, but because love is an act of true freedom. Unknown. Gentlemen, let's talk about one of the most crucial skills in life, reading the room when it comes to women. Here's the truth: she might want you to make the first move, but she's not going to put up a neon sign saying, "Hey, come talk to me." Instead, she'll give you subtle cues. If you don't catch them, you might miss your opportunity entirely. In this guide, we're diving into those unmistakable signals that show she's waiting for you to approach her. No guessing games, no confusion. Just the clear signs you need to recognize. Ready to step up? Let's break it down. Sign number 1, arching back or adjusting posture. The body speaks louder than words, believe it or not. Before a single sentence is exchanged, her body language has already communicated volumes. When she subtly arches her back, adjusts her posture, or shifts the way she's sitting or standing, it's not just about comfort, it's about making a statement. The way she sits up straighter, the slight tilt of her hips, or the natural lift of her chest all speak to something deeper, something intentional. This shift is often unconscious but powerful. It's her body's way of saying, "I'm here, and I want you to see me." Think about it. If you've just entered the room or exchanged a brief glance, her posture isn't a mere coincidence. It's a signal. Her shoulders square off, her chest lifts, and she becomes more present in the space, almost as if she's subtly calling attention to herself. She's not trying to outshine anyone, but rather asserting her femininity in a quiet, meaningful way. This isn't some exaggerated display of attention-seeking behavior. No, it's more refined than that. It's deliberate and, in its own subtle way, powerful. This kind of posture is not only a marker of self-confidence, but also an invitation. She's aware of your presence, and there's an underlying hope that you'll notice. So don't miss it. When a modern Stoic practices presence in the world, they understand that everything is a reflection of intent. Her body isn't just moving, it's sending a message, saying, "I'm here, and I'm open to connection." The blessing of Stoicism teaches us to pay attention to what lies beneath the surface, to read the subtle signs that speak louder than words. The old Stoic would have noticed this too, understanding that her gestures, however small, are the quiet signals of attraction and openness. If you catch these movements, combined with a soft smile or a fleeting, playful glance, it's clear she wants you to approach. So don't overthink it. Be confident. Take action. And remember, sometimes the most profound signals are the ones that don't scream for attention. They're in the quiet confidence, in the poise of her body, waiting for you to notice and step forward. Sign number 2, moving closer or entering your personal space. Picture this: you're standing at a social event, maybe near the bar or by the food table, and there she is, appearing near you, again and again. The room is full of space, plenty of areas for her to wander off to. But she keeps inching closer. She doesn't say much, doesn't draw attention to herself, but somehow, she always ends up standing a little too close, brushing past you lightly, or sitting right next to you when there are plenty of other open seats. Don't mistake this for coincidence. When someone enters your personal space like that, repeatedly, it's a clear, unmistakable sign of interest. This isn't just friendly behavior, it's intentional. She's making a move, even if it's subtle. You must understand that this kind of behavior is not random. It's a deliberate signal, an invitation for connection that is too clear to ignore. Think about it. Whether she's reaching for something right beside you, standing close enough that your shoulders almost touch, or leaning in just a little bit when she speaks. She's doing it on purpose. She's breaking down the invisible barriers, stepping into your orbit and testing the waters. This isn't just about proximity, it's about her body language saying, "I'm here, and I want you to notice." It's a soft, nonverbal invitation that communicates a desire for interaction, but she's not going to come out and say it. You must be the one to pick up on it. This is where the Stoic lessons can truly apply. In Stoicism, one of the key principles is the ability to read the environment, to observe carefully, and to respond appropriately. Life doesn't always send loud signals. Sometimes, it's the quietest gestures that hold the most meaning. She's offering you an opportunity, but you must seize it. Now, don't overthink it. This isn't an accidental occurrence. She's not simply passing by or trying to make small talk. Her movements, though subtle, are intended to draw you in. That's the blessing of Stoicism right there, the understanding that subtlety is often the most powerful force in communication. The old Stoic would have noticed this too. The quiet magnetism of her presence is a deliberate tactic. She's pulling herself closer, not out of obligation, but out of interest. This is your chance to make a move, to step forward with confidence and acknowledge the connection she's quietly offering. You must also recognize that the Stoic life isn't about waiting passively for signals to be delivered in grand, obvious ways. It's about developing the sensitivity to recognize the smaller, more subtle signs, the ones that require attention, focus, and sometimes even patience. The small gestures, like her standing a bit closer than necessary, are the quiet invitations to action. So don't let the opportunity slip away. She's testing the waters, and she's waiting for you to take the lead. If you notice these signs, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and approach with the certainty that your actions are aligned with a deeper understanding of human interaction. Be the one who recognizes and acts on those subtle cues, because that is where the real connection happens. If you're noticing her getting closer, it's no accident. She's signaling her interest. The ball's in your court now. Drop a comment right now. I take charge and make my move. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself, opportunity favors the bold. Sign number 3, playing with her hair or pining. When it comes to recognizing signs that she wants you to approach her, One of the most powerful clues is subtle and can easily be missed if you're not paying attention. Confidence doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. A woman who's playing with her hair, adjusting her clothes, or fixing her appearance is sending you a clear, unspoken message. These small, seemingly inconsequential actions are often much more than habits. They are deliberate, calculated moves designed to catch your eye. A strand of hair twirled around her finger, a playful tug at her top, or even adjusting her strap all scream, "I care how I look, especially right now." She's aware of you. She's looking for your attention. It's a form of pining, a desire for you to notice and take action. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Similarly, a woman's happiness in that moment might hinge on the thought that you will notice and respond to her silent invitation. These gestures, whether she's brushing her hair over her shoulder, biting her lip, or glancing at you after making a subtle adjustment, are not random. They're intentional. They are an invitation, an opening, a chance for you to seize the moment with confidence. But you must recognize the moment. Don't wait for a neon sign. The subtlety of these cues is part of their power. You are being given an opportunity to approach her, to assert yourself, and to engage. If you've been paying attention, you'll notice that these small actions often follow eye contact or a glance her way. This is no coincidence. She's setting the stage, building anticipation. Now it's up to you to walk into that moment with the quiet confidence of a Stoic. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You're not here to wait for permission. You're here to act with decisiveness, to take control of the situation. If you're unsure of yourself, if you hesitate, you've missed the point. Confidence, after all, is a practice of showing up fully in the moment, and these signs are the invitation. Take them, approach her with strength, and make the most of this opportunity. She's waiting for you to be the man who steps into the moment with clear purpose. Let the Stoic principles guide you. Do not fear uncertainty, for you are already equipped to handle what comes your way. You must approach the moment as a master, not a novice. The world is yours to navigate. So go ahead, take the step forward. She's waiting for you to show that you can. Sign number 4, the triple glance. There's a magnetic, almost intangible quality about that fleeting moment when her eyes meet yours. Flick away, and then return for a second, longer look. It's one of those instances that feels too perfect to be mere coincidence, and yet so many men miss it. The triple glance is not just a random happenstance. It's a subtle, yet deliberate, silent signal, a nonverbal cue that carries layers of meaning, all wrapped in curiosity and hope. She's not merely looking at you, she's testing the waters, silently asking if you're paying attention, if you notice her, and most importantly, if you'll do something about it. That glance away, so quick and seemingly unintentional, is not a rejection, as some might assume. No, it's a signal saying, "I'm a little shy, but there's something here." And when her gaze comes back to you, lingering for just a moment longer, it's her way of saying, "But I hope you see me and I hope you take the next step." It's a clear invitation, wrapped in subtlety, a request for you to notice the space between the two of you and to take action. If this eye contact happens more than once, paired with an inviting smile or open, relaxed body language, it's a green light flashing, urging you to step forward with confidence. But here's the kicker: confidence doesn't always mean being loud or overt. It doesn't mean rushing in or trying to impress with elaborate gestures. Confidence, especially for the modern Stoic, is all about presence, awareness, and the ability to read the signals in front of you. The blessing of Stoicism teaches us to be patient, yes, but also to seize the moment when the opportunity arises. That moment of the triple glance. That's the moment. She's waiting, but she's also testing you. This is where your calm, collected nature, the same nature the old Stoic would have admired, comes into play. You must stay grounded and move with purpose. You don't need to come up with a clever pickup line or rehearse some grand introduction. No, the best approach is often the simplest and most honest one. Approach her with a warm smile. Hold her gaze for a second longer than usual, and take that quiet step forward. Let your body language speak just as much as your words. Don't overthink it. A simple, "Hey, I noticed you from across the room and had to come say hi," can open the door she's been waiting for you to walk through. It doesn't need to be complicated or overly clever, just real, genuine, and direct. The power of that simple sentence is that it's honest, not forced. It's the kind of approach that signals maturity and confidence without being arrogant or presumptuous. It's also the kind of move that aligns with the principles of modern Stoicism. You're not acting out of impulsiveness or desperation, but with a quiet awareness that she's waiting for you to recognize her signals. And when you do, you respond in a calm, purposeful way. That's the real blessing of Stoicism in action. The old Stoic would remind you that sometimes the best way to take action is to not rush it, to not force it, but to wait for the right moment and then move decisively when the time is right. So, remember when you catch that triple glance, don't shy away. Don't second-guess yourself or wonder if you're misinterpreting her interest. Trust the moment. You've been given a signal. Be the man who notices it, who respects it, and who takes the step forward with poise. Be the modern Stoic who understands that timing, confidence, and purpose are more powerful than anything flashy or rehearsed. Approach her with a smile and your honest self, and see what unfolds. After all, the old Stoics would say fortune favors the brave, but the wise know when to act. Sign number 5, facing you directly. Don't be fooled by the silence. The body often speaks louder than words, especially when it comes to attraction. You might find yourself wondering whether a woman is interested in you, but the truth is, her body language is often shouting a clear message, even when her lips remain quiet. One of the most unmistakable signs that she wants you to approach her is how she positions herself in the room. It's all about the alignment. If her feet, knees, and torso are angled in your direction, even while she's in the middle of a conversation with someone else, that's no accident. This subtle yet profound body language tells you that she's mentally locked in on you, no matter how much she might seem focused on something else. Picture this. You're at a crowded cafe or perhaps mingling at a party. You spot her chatting with a friend, sipping her drink, or mindlessly scrolling through her phone. Despite the fact that she's engaging with other people, you notice her legs are crossed toward you. Her torso leans slightly in your direction, and she doesn't move away when there's plenty of room to do so. That's not a coincidence, and it certainly isn't an innocent accident. The Stoic life teaches us to recognize signs and signals, to be aware of the subtle currents around us. Here's the Stoic lesson: pay attention to the small, seemingly insignificant details. Her body is telling you something without words. She's interested. She's engaged. And more often than not, she's hoping you'll pick up on it and make the move. This is the beauty of modern Stoicism. The ability to read between the lines, to see beyond the obvious, and to act with purpose and intention. Stoicism isn't about waiting for things to come to you. It's about recognizing the right moment to make your move and knowing when to act decisively. Her body orientation is your moment. Don't let it slip away. When a woman positions herself toward you, it's a clear signal of curiosity. It's low pressure, but it's deliberate. She's not shouting, "Come talk to me." Instead, she's silently sending out an invitation, a quiet nudge for you to take the first step. That's the beauty of Stoic lessons in action. It's all about mastering subtlety, reading the signs, and making your move without hesitation or second guessing. Don't underestimate the power of body language. It's often more reliable than words. In the world of modern dating, many men miss these cues simply because they aren't tuned into the signals. Instead of waiting for her to say, "Come over here," or make a big, obvious gesture, observe the way her body shifts toward you. If her body is facing you, it means she's already mentally preparing for you to approach. Be confident, take that step, and engage her. Remember, this is a moment where Stoicism and emotional intelligence meet. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to be anyone other than yourself. Stoicism teaches us that life is full of moments, and it's how we respond to those moments that matters. So when you see her facing you, don't freeze. You must act. Approach with purpose. Approach with confidence. And most importantly, approach with a clear mind, free of unnecessary anxieties or distractions. That is the Stoic way. It's not about making grand gestures or waiting for signs that don't exist. It's about reading the room, understanding the subtle language of the body, and making your move when the time is right. When her body faces you, it's a silent invitation. Take it. If you find this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Comment to remember, her body language speaks louder than words. Sign number 6, initiating light touches. The touch of a woman speaks louder than any words can. When she reaches out, gently placing her hand on your arm, shoulder, or even lightly brushing your hand during conversation, it's not by accident. This is intentional. It's not a random act of kindness or politeness. It's a clear sign of comfort, trust, and attraction. It's a subtle yet powerful gesture, meant to bridge the gap between the two of you, closing the distance and signaling her desire for connection. You must pay attention to the small moments. Picture this. She laughs at something you said, and as the laughter fades, she taps your arm with a smile. Don't dismiss this as casual. It's a test of how you respond, a test of how comfortable she feels around you. Or perhaps she brushes something off your sleeve or places her hand on your shoulder while offering a compliment. This is not just physical contact. It's her way of saying, "I want to be closer. I want more." In a world of noise and distractions, these subtle touches can be overlooked, but they're anything but random. They are signals wrapped in warmth, signs of attraction and openness. Pay attention to these touches. They are invitations, and if you're wise, you will notice them. These small yet powerful moments are the language of connection. You must recognize them for what they are. If she initiates these kinds of light touches, it's an invitation to approach. It's a moment of victory, a chance for you to move forward. It's up to you to seize that moment, take control, and step up. Don't let it slip away. Don't overthink. Be present. Remember Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, who said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That's how you must think. Every signal she gives is an opportunity to move forward. The Stoic principles of awareness and self-control should guide your next move. Respond decisively, son, without hesitation. Life is filled with moments to master. This is one of them. Don't second-guess her intentions. Recognize the warmth and trust in her touch and understand that she's offering you a chance to approach. Take it. This is your moment to show confidence and embrace the opportunity. You must be aware of the subtle signs and ready to take action when they appear. This is how you conquer the social landscape. How you become the man who masters his environment. A man who lives by the Stoic principles knows when to act. So act now, don't wait, be bold, be present, and remember, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy, as Marcus Aurelius once said. The best way to approach her is with confidence, decisiveness, and stoic resolve. Sign number 7, lingering around. Picture this: the event wraps up, and people begin to filter out. Yet she remains. It's not that she's oblivious or has nowhere to go, no. She's very much aware of the situation. Maybe she's pretending to check her phone, slowly sipping on her drink, or standing off to the side as the others head out. She's not in a hurry. There's no rush. She's staying. But why she's waiting for you, she's giving you a moment. You see, when the group begins to disperse and everyone starts to leave, that's often when the best opportunities arise. It's in the quiet, in the slowing down, in the space between the noise. And she's waiting for you to notice that she's not rushing off with the rest. She's creating a small but potent opening for you to take action. The lingering isn't loud, it doesn't scream for attention. It's understated, almost delicate. But that's exactly what makes it one of the strongest signs she's interested. Women don't just stand around without reason. There's intent in that lingering. It's a quiet invitation, a signal that she's open, that she wants something more, and that she's making herself available to you without pushing or making a spectacle of it. This is the modern Stoic way of expressing interest, composed, subtle, and deliberate. If she's hanging back after a social event, a casual meetup, or even a work function, it's no accident. She's creating a space where the two of you can connect without the distraction of the larger group. The noise is dying down, people are leaving, and there you are, with the chance to step up. The opportunity is right in front of you, clearer than ever, but it's up to you to recognize it and take the leap. This is the blessing of Stoicism, a calm, confident presence that allows you to recognize these subtle signals and act decisively without overthinking or getting lost in self-doubt. She's not asking for a big, dramatic gesture. She's offering you a quiet moment of connection, a chance to step up with confidence, to make your move without needing to force anything. It's a moment for clarity, for directness, and for embracing the opportunity without hesitation. If you don't take it, the chance could slip away. The beauty of the modern Stoic approach is knowing when to act and when to let the world unfold at its own pace. Don't let that moment pass. You must see it for what it is, an opportunity, a chance to make the connection that's quietly waiting for you. This lingering isn't an accident, it's intentional. She's waiting for you to make your move, but she's doing it in a way that's calm, composed, and free of pressure. That's the beauty of modern Stoicism, recognizing that not everything needs to be rushed. She's giving you the room to breathe, to think, and to step up when you're ready. It's about seizing that perfect moment when it's clear and available without the need for fanfare. The old Stoic philosophy tells us that opportunities come in all forms, some loud, some subtle. But the key is to remain aware and poised, and that's what she's waiting for you to do. At this moment, she's not going to chase after you. She's giving you the blessing of Stoicism, the chance to be the one to make the move. She's providing you with the space to step forward, to engage with clarity and intention, and to create something meaningful without the distraction of everyone else rushing out the door. The fact that she lingers, quietly, calmly, and without pressing you, is a huge sign that she's interested, but she's not going to make it obvious. This is where the beauty of modern Stoic thinking comes into play. It's about understanding that attraction doesn't always scream for attention. It's in the moments that are easy to miss, the small actions that speak volumes without uttering a word. So, if you notice her lingering, take a breath and recognize it. This is your moment. Don't let it pass. Embrace it with the confidence of a modern Stoic, poised and clear-headed, knowing that the opportunity she's giving you is one you shouldn't let slip away. Approach her, engage with purpose, and turn that lingering moment into something more. It's not about making grand gestures, but about understanding the quiet moments that hold the greatest potential. So, be present, be aware, and be the one who steps up when the opportunity presents itself. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom on relationships and confidence. Comment to remember. I am aware and confident in recognizing opportunities. Sign number 8, glancing at you from her group. In a noisy, bustling social setting where people are laughing, talking, and enjoying themselves, the eyes are often the truest reflection of interest. When she's with her friends, yet repeatedly finds herself stealing glances in your direction, that's no coincidence. It's a sign of intent, a quiet but powerful way of signaling her interest without stepping out of her comfort zone. While her friends are engaging her in conversation, her attention isn't fully on them, it's on you. Her gaze keeps drifting toward you even when she's surrounded by her group. This is her way of letting you know that, despite all the distractions around her, she's noticing you. She might be laughing with her friends, enjoying the moment, but her attention is split. Every few moments, you catch her eyes flicking toward you, or perhaps, if she's particularly subtle, a soft smile followed by a quick glance away when she realizes you've noticed. This is your cue. When she's in a group, she's giving you the space to make a move, showing interest without making it too obvious to others. It's a nuanced gesture, a form of nonverbal communication. It's not loud, it's not overt, but it's there. The eyes don't lie. She's waiting for you to step up, to read the signs and make the first move. But make no mistake, this is no game. Her glances are not simply random, they're an invitation. And when her friends start to glance your way as well, that's an even clearer signal. It's as if they're in on it too. They can sense the energy, the shift in focus, and they're not oblivious to what's happening. You must understand the significance of this moment. Don't overthink it. Don't let hesitation paralyze you. Seize the opportunity, Marcus Aurelius said. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. In this context, the message is clear. Stop debating the right time, the right approach. The right moment is here. The time for indecision is gone. When her glances are aimed at you, it's time to take action. Waiting for the perfect moment or for some grand, overt sign will only cause you to miss the opportunity. Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and reactions. The world around us is full of distractions and noise. But the Stoic man finds clarity in the chaos. He doesn't wait for perfect conditions to act. He understands the power of the present moment, of seizing the opportunity that's right in front of him. This is a skill you must master. Think about it. If you're constantly waiting for external factors to align perfectly, you'll find yourself stuck in inaction, missing chances and watching life pass you by. The key is to be decisive, to read the subtle signs, and to act with purpose. The Stoic approach to life is all about control. Control over your mind, your actions, and your response to the world around you. When you see these glances, you have control over your response. You can choose to step forward with confidence, or you can remain passive and let the moment slip away. But remember, you must not hesitate. That is the critical difference between those who live with purpose and those who let life simply happen to them. The principle of Stoicism is about mastering your emotions, controlling what you can, and letting go of what you cannot. When you see her glancing at you, it's not a time for over-analysis or hesitation. It's a time to act with clarity and confidence. Don't second-guess. Approach her, make your presence known, and do so with the calm self-assuredness that comes from knowing exactly who you are and what you want. The Stoic mindset isn't about being emotionless, it's about being in control of your emotions and using them to guide you, not overwhelm you. In this moment, let your actions be guided by calm determination, not fear of rejection or uncertainty. Her glances are a powerful signal. They're not begging for you to take action, but they are an invitation to do so. She's giving you the green light in the most subtle way possible, without explicitly saying a word. And when you see this, don't let it pass. Take a step forward. Make the approach. Show her that you recognize the invitation and that you're capable of taking charge. This is your chance to embody the Stoic principle of taking control of your life, not letting moments like these slip by because of doubt or fear. If you hesitate, the opportunity will fade. But if you act decisively, you'll move one step closer to mastering not just this interaction, but your life. Marcus Aurelius also reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. You must realize that the power is in your hands. The decision is yours. Don't wait for the world to shape itself perfectly around you. Seize the moment, make your move, and trust in your ability to handle whatever follows. This is how you master life, one moment at a time. When you spot the glances, take action. Trust your judgment. Approach her with confidence, knowing that you've read the signs and are now in control of the situation. Hey, thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. Now that you've made it through, you've got the knowledge. Women don't always say it outright, but their body language often tells you everything you need to know. The signs are there if you're paying attention, so make sure you're tuned into the little things that reveal interest. Approaching someone can be intimidating, but if you're able to spot these signs and act with confidence, you're already ahead of the game. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being genuine, respectful, and understanding the signals that are right in front of you. And trust me, confidence is key, but so is patience. Don't rush the process, so take what you've learned here today and use it in your own life. Approach situations with a calm, observant mindset, and you'll be amazed at how much easier it can become to connect with others. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another one. I'm here to help you navigate these moments with confidence and clarity. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Why women secretly love these 9 things more than money. Modern Stoic. You want to know what truly captivates a woman, what makes her remember a man long after he's left the room. It's not your bank account, it's not your car, it's not your success on paper. Sure, those things might get our attention, but they rarely keep it. What keeps us is something deeper, something most men overlook because they're too focused on impressing the world. While you're chasing titles, we're quietly drawn to the qualities that can't be bought. And once you understand this, these 9 emotional triggers, you'll stop competing with other men altogether. Because these aren't things you wear, drive, or post. They're things you are. Let me show you what they are, and why they matter more than money ever will. Number 1, emotional leadership. Let me break a little secret to you, not from a place of strategy, but from a place of truth. Most women don't secretly wish for yachts or piles of gold. What they truly, deeply, and often quietly long for is your emotional leadership. That steady hand, that confident calm, that masculine spine that says, "I've got this." You see, while the world has been yelling about equality, and we nod and say yes, of course, something ancient still pulses in our hearts. We don't want to make every decision. We don't want to steer the ship alone. We are not craving dominance. We are craving trust, security, the quiet blessing of Stoicism. And it shows up not in your words, but in your choices when you lead, when you take the wheel, not with arrogance, but with clarity. You give us the one thing that money can't buy: emotional relaxation. That is the hidden treasure. We finally stop second-guessing. Our minds stop doing the mental gymnastics of "is he sure? Should I double-check?" We get to exhale, to melt, to fall into our softness because your firmness is there. The modern Stoic man doesn't run from responsibility. He welcomes it. And when you carry that weight, you free us to be what we want to be with you women, not warriors. But here's the problem. Most men today have confused passivity for kindness. They think being agreeable, always asking what we want, always letting us decide everything, makes them more lovable. Let me be blunt. It doesn't. It drains us. It flips the polarity. And suddenly, we're the ones hauling the emotional freight, making all the decisions, fixing the energy leaks. And it doesn't feel good. It's not sexy. It's not safe. Because while we may smile and nod and say thank you when you let us pick the restaurant again, deep down, we're sighing. Why won't he just take the reins? Don't be the man who thinks indifference equals love. Be the man who leads, not like a dictator, but like an anchor. Solve the little things, take charge when conflict strikes, make the plan and then invite us in. Own your presence, because when you do, you unlock a deeper layer in us, a response so old, so primal, it can't be faked or forced. We lean into you. We feel held. That's more valuable than diamonds. That's more powerful than a trust fund. That is emotional gold. The old Stoic understood this. He knew that calm in the storm was not weakness. It was mastery. Modern men, in chasing approval, have lost this core trait. The modern Stoic remembers. He doesn't abdicate leadership in fear of appearing controlling. He leads with strength and stillness. That stillness becomes our sanctuary. That presence becomes our peace. So no, we don't crave your money. We crave your grounding. We crave the strength that says, "Follow me. I've thought this through." And once you step into that role, once you reclaim your throne as emotional leader, not tyrant, not robot, but steady flame, we begin to rise in response. That is the gift of masculine leadership. That is the first glorious layer of power we secretly always instinctively want. Now you know. So don't shrink. Don't wait for permission. Be calm. Be clear. Be the blessing of Stoicism in a world of noise, because we notice and we love it more than you know. Number 2, emotional mystery. Let me tell you something straight from the hearts of women who won't say it out loud, but feel it in their bones. We don't want you to spill everything all at once. That might sound strange. You've been told communication is key. Open up more, they said. Tell her how you feel, and sure, yes, vulnerability matters, but full transparency. Total emotional exposure, that is the fast lane to emotional boredom. Because here's the hard truth, a man who is too easy to read, who lays all his cards on the table too soon, doesn't feel like a treasure. We treat him like a manual. Flip through, read, set it down. And it's not because we're cruel, it's because we're wired for curiosity, not completion. Women are creatures of emotional rhythm. Our feminine energy craves tension, not chaos, but intrigue. That little tingle of not knowing exactly what you're going to say next or how you'll respond keeps us present. It keeps us invested. If we can predict your every reaction, if you're emotionally obvious, you become background noise. But if you carry yourself with a quiet, confident restraint, now we're leaning in. Now we're intrigued. And that tension, it feeds our desire more than any diamond ever could. But listen closely. This isn't about lying. Don't play games. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. This is the art of the controlled reveal. You share, but wisely. You express, but with precision. You don't emotionally dump every worry on or fear or childhood trauma on the second date. You hold a little back. You keep a little mystery. That is what the Stoic life teaches us. Stoicism isn't silence. It's strength in restraint. It's self-mastery. A man who controls his emotions isn't cold. He's magnetic. Because mystery isn't just attractive. It's addictive. When a woman is wondering about you, what you're thinking, how much you felt, what your story really is, she's engaged. When she's guessing, she's investing. That emotional investment is everything. It means she's inside the story, not outside of it. And once she's hooked, she will chase you, far more passionately than she ever chased a man who handed over his whole personality like a sales brochure. And here's the kicker, mystery by itself isn't enough. You must pair it with intentional attention. That's what sets the emotionally mysterious man apart from the emotionally unavailable one. Don't vanish. Don't ghost. Be present but unpredictable. Be warm but unreadable. Be kind but never needy. Let her feel your focus but never own it. Let her notice when your gaze lingers a second too long. And let her wonder why you pulled it away. Because that control, that elegant tension, that's what turns a woman's passing interest into full-blown obsession. This is a Stoic lesson most men never learn. Desire lives in the unknown, in the space between what she knows and what she hopes. It's the tension of the unanswered question. Don't rob her of that. Don't fill in every blank. Be a man who speaks with meaning, moves with purpose, and reveals his depths slowly, like chapters in a great novel. Never predictable. Never too easy. Just compelling enough to keep her turning the page. Be the mystery that stirs her. Be the story she can't stop reading. And remember, even in the age of oversharing, the man who masters Stoicism, who controls his reveal, who lives the Stoic life, is the one she'll crave long after the money's spent. If this message struck a chord, like the video, share it with a man who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more real Stoic wisdom. Let's raise the standard together. Comment to remember I am the mystery she can't stop thinking about. Drop that affirmation in the comments below to remind yourself and others of the power in presence, restraint, and emotional mastery. Number 3, controlled attention. This is the power most men underestimate. Attention, in today's world, is currency. In the sexual marketplace, it's more valuable than money, more intoxicating than luxury, more potent than charm. The average man gives his attention freely, like a man throwing pennies into the wind. Constant texts, likes, comments, desperate affirmations, always available, always seeking approval. That isn't power. That's a weakness. That's noise. Women read this for what it is: a signal of low value. It screams that your life is empty, your mission unclear, your time unguarded. But a man who practices controlled attention, that's a man who stands apart, a man who operates under Stoic principles, like Marcus Aurelius, is not moved by desperation or the need to be liked. He chooses where to place his energy. He chooses who gets his focus. He gives a little, then pulls back. He creates mystery. He creates desire. He creates value. And this restraint, this controlled withdrawal, it is magnetic. Just like a rare gem becomes more valuable with scarcity, your attention becomes more desirable the less it is handed out. Controlled attention flips the frame. You are no longer the pursuer. You are the one being pursued. She begins to lean in. She begins to wonder, and she begins to crave, not because you begged, not because you overextended, but because you didn't. That's the power of Stoic control. That's what Marcus Aurelius understood. He who angers you conquers you. And in the modern world, I'll add, he who controls his attention conquers her curiosity. You must become the man who chooses attention deliberately, who treats it as sacred, who guards it like treasure. Let her feel your presence, then let her feel your absence. Let her taste attention, then take it away. Do not give more than you mean. Do not seek her validation. Let her earn yours. You must become the storm with calm eyes. The mountain is unmoved by the wind. Controlled attention is not about manipulation. It's about mastery. Mastery of self. Mastery of your focus. Mastery of your time. That mastery breeds confidence, and confidence breeds attraction. Let your attention be earned, not given. Let her chase what is scarce. Let her work for your validation. What she earns, she values. What is given freely, she disrespects. Stoic principles teach us not to react, but to respond with reason, purpose, and strength. In a world where men throw their time away for cheap dopamine, be the man who withholds, who protects his energy, who lives with intention. Don't drown her in affection. Don't chase. Don't beg. Be still. Be present. Then pull back. Create space. That space creates tension. That tension creates desire. And that desire builds power. Real power. Controlled attention isn't weakness. It's your secret weapon. Use it wisely. Train it ruthlessly. Guard it fiercely. And never forget, while money can buy a moment, controlled attention can build obsession. In her mind, in her heart, and in her soul. This is the way of the modern Stoic. This is how you master the game. This is how you win. Number 4, dominant calm energy. Let's get this straight. Dominant calm energy isn't optional. It's essential. And if you think dominance means puffing your chest, raising your voice, or firing off opinions like a Twitter warrior, think again. That's not strength. That's noise. That's the boy trying to play man. A real dominance, the kind that women feel without you saying a word, is a quiet storm. It's the old Stoic sitting in the corner, watching the world burn and barely blinking. That's the blessing of Stoicism. Calm, grounded, unshakable. It's a power that doesn't perform. It simply is. You walk into a room and suddenly the air shifts, not because you demanded attention, but because your energy commanded it. You speak less. and somehow, everyone listens more. Here's the truth. Women are emotional detectives. When we don't just hear you, we read you in micro-expressions, one tone, the rhythm of your breath. We scan it all without even knowing we're doing it. And when your energy says, I'm in control of myself in this moment, our nervous systems relax, our hearts open, our guard lowers. You don't need to buy love or impress anyone with flash. When you embody calm dominance, you give us something far more valuable than money: emotional safety. And emotional safety, dear modern Stoic, is the drug we can't quit. Not diamonds, not dinners. It's knowing that if life punches hard, you won't flinch. If chaos erupts, you won't crumble. That's the man we want. That's the man we crave. That's the man who activates something deep and ancient inside us, the primal instinct to surrender to a protector we trust. But don't get it twisted. Safety doesn't mean passivity. We will test you. Yes, we will, not out of malice, but because we have to. It's instinctive. We poke to see if the calm is real or just a mask. We'll push your buttons, consciously or not, to check if your center holds. And when it does, when you don't lash out, don't fold, don't become needy or defensive, we fall harder. That's when respect deepens. That's when attraction roots itself in our bones. But crack under pressure, lose your cool, and the spell breaks. You become just another guy pretending. And we can smell pretending like smoke on cheap cologne. So, be the man whose stillness speaks louder than shouting. Be the one whose presence calms storms, not adds to them. That's the old Stoic way. That's the modern Stoic in practice. Not a robot, not emotionless, but emotionally disciplined, a master of himself, a lighthouse in a world of flickering lanterns. Understand this and you unlock something no luxury car, no six-pack, no bank account ever could. You become rare. And in a world that's addicted to noise, rare is irresistible. Conodina. That's the blessing of Stoicism. That's the dominance that doesn't dominate, it attracts. And trust me, once we feel that, once we know you're built like that, we won't just admire you, we'll melt for you. Period. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Number 5. Frame control in conflict. Here's the test most men keep failing. And I mean face planting, again and again. It's not about money, looks, or what kind of car you drive. It's this: how do you act when she's emotional, unpredictable, or flat out storming? That's when your real value is measured. When we cry, snap, challenge, or poke at your boundaries, not because we hate you, but because we're unconsciously trying to feel you, we need to know, is this man solid or is he made of sand? Now pay attention, because this one separates the Stoic men from the scrambling boys. Weak men, men without internal grounding, get rattled. They argue back, they grovel, they chase peace like a dog begging for a treat. And in that moment, the spell breaks. Why? Because you just showed us your emotional frame is fragile, that you can be pulled, pushed, yanked around by feelings that aren't even yours. You lose your center, and in doing so, you lose our trust. But the man who's done his inner work, the one who's lived some Stoic life, practiced the Stoic lessons and doesn't flinch when the emotional weather turns ugly, he wins every time. That man doesn't ignore us, and he's not a robot. He listens, he watches, he stays grounded. His silence isn't avoidance, it's power. He doesn't collapse under pressure, he contains it. He doesn't rise to defend or fall to appease. He just is. Steady, clear-eyed, still. That's frame control, and it's rare. Don't confuse this with coldness. This is not aloof detachment. No, this is a deep, anchored presence. That kind of man feels everything, we know it. But he doesn't react to everything. He stays in the driver's seat of his emotions. And guess what? That is safety. That is strength. That is exactly the kind of energy we fall for, harder than any luxury you could ever buy. It's what makes a woman melt. Because suddenly, in the chaos, there's someone who doesn't add fuel to the fire. He holds the fire like a seasoned keeper. That's Stoicism in motion. That's a Stoic life embodied. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more you can hold your frame, especially during our wildest moments, the more deeply we bond with you. We respect you more, trust you more, feel safe with you. Because now we know this man can handle the world. And if he can handle the world, he can definitely handle us. And yes, sometimes it will get loud, sometimes we'll cry, sometimes we'll test you with questions that make no sense at all. But every emotional wave we throw your way isn't designed to destroy you, it's to reveal you. You must understand this: emotional storms are not sabotage. They're subconscious invitations to rise. If you crumble, we know we're on shaky ground. But if you stand strong, not with cruelty, not with ego, but with presence, we will never forget you. You become the exception, the rare rock, the lighthouse in our storm. And here's the final trigger. The secret most men never unlock once you've proven you can hold that frame. Not just once, but consistently. You become the only man we see. You go from option to obsession. You become the one we brag about to our friends without ever saying your name. Not because you're rich, not because you're flashy, but because you're stoic in the moments that matter most. That's a treasure more valuable than gold. That's what we really want. And we'll never say it out loud. But trust me, we know exactly what we're looking for. Number 6, a purpose bigger than us. Let this sink in. The ultimate attraction isn't money, looks, or charm. It's purpose. A man without purpose is like a ship without a compass, adrift, weak, forgettable. But a man with a mission becomes unstoppable. When you live for something greater than yourself, you become a force of nature. A modern Stoic understands this truth. He doesn't chase validation. He builds. He doesn't beg for attention. He earns respect. Women aren't drawn to men who orbit them. They're magnetized by men who are already moving with power, momentum, and vision. They don't want to be your purpose. They want to witness your purpose. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of discipline and wisdom, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That's the heart of Stoic principles. Don't talk, act. Don't obsess over relationships. Pursue greatness. A man on a mission doesn't crumble when love is absent, because he is already full. His craft fills him. His ambition feeds him. His values guide him. That's what creates gravity, and that's what pulls people into your orbit without you having to chase. Women don't fall for desperation, they fall for direction. Don't become needy. Don't make her your goal. Make your purpose the goal. And if she's the right one, she'll follow. This is the paradox of masculine power. When you center your life around her, you lose your edge. You lose your magnetism. But when your life is already complete, she sees a man worth following. And when a woman sees you striving, building, leading, she trusts you, she supports you, she admires you. And that admiration breeds loyalty you can't buy with money. Purpose is rarer than wealth, and it's more powerful. Anyone can throw cash around, but only a few men live with conviction. Only a few men stand for something? Be one of those men. Be the rare one. Live like a lion among sheep. Let's be clear, comfort is nice, but comfort won't make her stay. Meaning will, and meaning comes from doing what matters, from grinding for something real, from standing up every morning with fire in your eyes and steel in your soul. This is the way of the Stoic. This is the way of the modern man. Follow Stoic principles. Read Marcus Aurelius. Live your code. Don't bend it for anyone. Because a woman can sense when a man is weak inside, even if he's smiling on the outside. She wants to trust you, to believe in you, to join your cause. But that only happens when you're already walking your path. So here's your call to action. Lock in. Get serious. Master your mission. Don't give your soul away for affection. Don't abandon your edge. Don't soften your purpose. Stand tall. Live with relentless focus and speak less. Build more. Get obsessed with the mission that outlives you. That is where your power lies. That is when you become truly attractive. That is when you win. Not just in love, but in life. Be stoic, be solid, be undeniable. Be the man she can follow, not the man who follows her. Purpose is real wealth, and the men who chase it are the ones who conquer. 7. Confidence without arrogance. Confidence is an undeniably magnetic trait, but it's vital that it doesn't morph into arrogance. Confidence, when paired with humility, creates a rare and powerful allure. It's about knowing your worth without needing to shout it from the rooftops or seek validation at every turn. That's where the modern Stoic comes in, a man who understands that his value doesn't need to be constantly affirmed by others. Women find this quiet, self-assured confidence irresistible. The old Stoic philosophy teaches us to be confident in our actions and decisions, not because we need approval, but because we've already decided who we are. This is exactly what draws women in, the strength that comes from being grounded in one's own self-belief without the need to prove it. It's not about boasting. It's about knowing that your actions speak louder than words. When you live this way, you create an aura of respect and admiration around you. But here's the catch. Arrogance doesn't work. Arrogance masks insecurity and shows a desperate need for others to acknowledge your worth. It's the opposite of confidence. Women can easily sense the difference, and they're not fooled. Arrogance reeks of fragility, while true confidence is built on a foundation of self-respect. That's why the blessing of Stoicism teaches us that inner peace and calm strength are far more attractive than any show of bravado. Be confident, but also be humble. That's the secret to deep connection and attraction. Never forget, women don't need to hear you brag. They need to see your strength in your actions, your steadiness, your ability to stand firm in your beliefs without trying to prove a point. It's the modern Stoic approach to life, where you understand that your worth doesn't need external validation. This is a quality that transcends superficiality. So be a man who stands tall in his own skin without needing constant recognition, and you'll find that women are drawn to you like a moth to a flame. When you balance that strength with humility, you're not just attracting attention. You're earning respect, admiration, and a deep connection that goes far beyond surface-level interest. 8. Emotional availability. Emotional availability is an often overlooked yet incredibly powerful quality that women secretly find irresistible, far more than any financial wealth. You may think that showing vulnerability is a weakness, but the truth is, it takes a great deal of strength and emotional maturity to be able to open up and share your feelings. This is where the lessons of Stoicism come in. Stoic life isn't about suppressing emotions, but learning to express them with wisdom and control. It's not about being a robot who shuts down all feelings, nor is it about wearing your heart on your sleeve all the time. It's about striking that delicate balance, where you are neither too closed off nor too emotionally explosive. Women don't want a man who hides behind a wall of stoic detachment, nor do they want one who overflows with emotion at every turn. They want someone who can show vulnerability when it matters, who's capable of saying, "I'm going through something right now," or "this is how I feel," without hesitation or fear of being judged. When you embrace this, you create an environment of trust and intimacy, where a deeper connection can flourish. Imagine the power in simply saying, "I don't have all the answers, but I'm here with you." That's a statement built on emotional availability. It says, "I'm real, I'm human, and I'm not afraid to let you see that part of me." You don't need to spill your entire heart out on the regular, but being able to share honestly and openly when it counts shows a profound level of emotional intelligence that is rooted in Stoicism. The Stoic lessons teach us that emotional control isn't about suppression, but about harnessing our emotions in a way that doesn't overwhelm us. Women deeply value this trait because it signals emotional maturity. They want someone who is strong enough to process their emotions without letting them dictate every decision. And you don't have to be perfect at it. The mere willingness to share is a monumental step in creating a deeper bond. Remember, being emotionally available isn't about oversharing or being constantly in a state of emotional turmoil. It's about having the courage to show up with your feelings in an honest and healthy way. Too often, men think they must keep their emotional lives a secret, but this only builds walls instead of bridges. The Stoic life teaches us that silence doesn't equate to strength. True strength lies in being able to communicate your thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. When you're emotionally available, you create the opportunity for a woman to feel emotionally safe around you, to let her guard down and connect with you in ways that go beyond superficial attraction. Incorporating this into your life isn't about overthinking or forcing vulnerability. It's about letting your authentic self show when the situation calls for it. Don't hide behind false bravado. Be the kind of man who is comfortable expressing himself without fearing judgment or rejection. Stoicism isn't about avoiding emotion. It's about mastering it, knowing when to share, how to share, and doing it with the wisdom that comes from understanding your own emotions. Women are naturally drawn to men who can navigate this balance. The ability to be emotionally available means that you've reached a level of maturity and inner strength that very few possess. Don't let fear of being vulnerable keep you from building a connection that could be life-changing. Embrace the Stoic lessons that help you become stronger, more self-aware, and above all, deeply emotionally available. 9. Strong work ethic. A woman's attraction is often rooted in qualities that run deeper than superficial gestures, more profound than money or material wealth. What truly draws her to a man is the combination of strength, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to his life's purpose. Among the most crucial of these qualities is a strong work ethic. This is not just about earning a paycheck or climbing the corporate ladder, but about a man's resilience and unwavering dedication to whatever he puts his mind to. When you work hard, when you push through the grind, you show more than just ambition. You reveal your character. Women aren't just attracted to a man with a paycheck. They're attracted to a man with passion, drive, and the determination to not just achieve but to excel. They want to see a man who faces challenges head-on, refuses to back down, and pushes beyond his limits. "The obstacle is the way," said Marcus Aurelius, and this Stoic principle rings true in today's world more than ever. A man who works tirelessly, who doesn't shy away from struggle but embraces it, gives a woman something priceless: security. It's not the security of money or comfort that she's after, but the emotional assurance that he will stand firm, weather any storm, and always rise to the occasion. You must understand that hard work is the ultimate sign of a man who has control over his own life. Women recognize this, and they respect it. They see the potential for a future with a man who possesses the drive to succeed and the strength to keep going when things get tough. That is the kind of man worth investing in emotionally. Don't settle for mediocrity. You must cultivate a relentless work ethic. This is what modern Stoic philosophy teaches: keep striving, keep improving, and keep your focus on the greater purpose, not the fleeting distractions. It's not just about working harder, but about working smarter, staying disciplined, and never letting the fear of failure hold you back. You have the power to shape your destiny, and in doing so, you'll make yourself irresistible to those who recognize true strength. A man's work ethic isn't just a reflection of his career. It's a reflection of his entire approach to life. When you're driven by purpose, when you're relentlessly pursuing your goals, that energy radiates and becomes magnetic. Women gravitate toward men who are not only successful, but who are also in constant motion, constantly striving for improvement, and who are willing to put in the work to get what they want. And that, ultimately, is what women love far more than money. That is the essence of the Stoic mindset: resilience, perseverance, and never yielding in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." So, go ahead, put in the work. Don't just talk about your goals, take action. Keep building, keep growing, and keep striving. Show the world, and most importantly, the women around you, that your hard work is the cornerstone of everything you are. This is how you become a man of value, a man who is unstoppable. And that is how you win, not just in business, but in love and life. If you believe that a strong work ethic is more powerful than money in building lasting connections, drop a comment right now: "I am the man who conquers through hard work." Like this video, subscribe for more empowering insights. And remember, true strength is not just in what you achieve, but in how you stay committed to the grind. All right, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this video has shed some light on what truly resonates with women beyond just money. Remember, it's not about flashy gestures or material things. It's about becoming a man who leads with emotional intelligence, calm confidence, and an unshakable sense of purpose. Confidence without arrogance, emotional availability, and strong work ethic. So, take a moment to really reflect on these 9 triggers. If you can master emotional leadership, maintain control of your energy, and align yourself with a purpose bigger than yourself, you're well on your way to becoming the kind of man who captivates on a deeper level. Don't just focus on impressing, focus on evolving. Take it from me. These are the qualities that create lasting, meaningful connections. Money fades, but true leadership, purpose, and emotional depth, that's the stuff that makes us choose you, not just once, but over and over again. Until next time, take care and stay focused on what really matters. See you soon. "10 things women do if they want you." Modern Stoic. The language of love is not always spoken. It's often heard in the silence of actions. Understanding the subtlety of attraction can be elusive, especially when women express interest in ways that don't always fit the usual script. Men often miss these signs, leaving them unsure of where they stand. The reality is, a woman's actions often speak louder than her words when she's interested in you. From her body language to the little things she does, there are clear signals that reveal her feelings. This video will break down those gestures, ensuring you'll never have to second-guess a woman's intentions again. Stick around till the end, and you'll begin to spot these signs in your everyday interactions. 1. Tilts head while listening. When a woman tilts her head while listening, understand this: she is not just being polite. She is showing you that you matter. The tilt of her head is a silent signal of curiosity, attraction, and warmth. It is a simple yet powerful gesture that can say more than words ever could. This act demonstrates full engagement in what you're saying, a desire to be involved in your world, and a subtle invitation to connect deeper. The tilted head, combined with soft eye contact, a gentle smile, or a slight lean toward you, is the hallmark of a woman who is truly present. In that moment, she is not just hearing you, she is absorbing you, valuing your words and giving you her undivided attention. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful Stoics to ever live, once said, "Be not careless in deeds, nor confused in words, nor rambling in thought." Women instinctively mirror this principle in their behavior, using body language as a way to communicate with precision and purpose. Her head tilt exposes her neck, a vulnerable area of the body which is a sign of openness, trust, and submission. This is a sign that she is comfortable with you. As a modern Stoic man, you must recognize these subtle cues and interpret them correctly. Don't overlook the power of nonverbal communication. When a woman engages with you in this way, it is a moment of victory in your pursuit of connection. It tells you that you are not just another man. You are the one she wants to be present with, the one she wants to hear, and the one she wants to know. Remember, life is about mastering your own actions and reactions, just as the Stoics did. You must read these signs and understand their deeper meaning. Let this simple gesture remind you of your own strength, of your ability to command presence, of your ability to remain composed and powerful, and of your ability to attract and captivate. When she tilts her head, it's not just a gesture, it's an invitation to move forward. Take it. 2. Dangling a shoe. In the world of Stoicism, where understanding deeper meanings is key to navigating life's complexities, women have their own ways of expressing attraction that can easily fly under the radar, like the simple act of dangling a shoe. At first glance, this might seem like a random, harmless gesture, but look closer, and you'll see that it's anything but. This small, seemingly innocent act is actually a powerful, flirty sign, a feminine move that subtly communicates comfort and attraction. It's the kind of thing that only a true Stoic would notice and appreciate. When a woman slips her heel halfway off, letting it dangle from the tips of her toes, it's a clear sign she's feeling at ease with you. She's comfortable, relaxed, and enjoying your presence. This isn't an act of carelessness. It's an intentional, almost hypnotic gesture that shows she's letting down her guard. You must realize this the moment she does this. She's not just showing comfort. She's also subtly drawing your attention to her legs and feet. It's playful, almost teasing, and it's meant to catch your eye without saying a word. Imagine you're sitting across from her at a restaurant, deep in conversation, and you glance down only to see her high heel swinging gently from her foot. Maybe she lets it slip off entirely, only to slide it back on with a flirtatious glint in her eye. It's not just a habit, it's a deliberate movement that draws attention. And if she's smiling softly or gazing at you with playful eyes, take it as a sign that she's enjoying the moment. This is where Stoicism, specifically the Stoic lessons on observing the subtle actions of others, becomes vital. You must learn to read these quiet cues. In the Stoic life, it's not always the loudest actions or boldest gestures that carry the most weight. The small, seemingly insignificant movements, like the way she lets her shoe dangle, are just as powerful, revealing more than what words ever could. It's a dance of body language that speaks volumes, without uttering a single syllable. Don't dismiss it as a random act. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a sign of comfort, attraction, and possibly even a gentle invitation. Now, don't misunderstand this. A woman won't always display her interest through grand gestures. The beauty of this move lies in its subtlety. She's not demanding your attention. Instead, she's inviting you into her world, with the grace of someone who understands the art of communication without words. This is a masterclass in the subtlety of attraction, something a modern Stoic would understand and appreciate. As you observe this, you realize that Stoic lessons aren't always about deep philosophical discussions or calculated action. Sometimes they're about recognizing the small, quiet signals in daily interactions, like a dangling shoe, that show how someone is truly feeling. Be aware of this moment. You must recognize it. The next time she dangles her shoe, take a pause, look, listen, and understand that this is more than just a harmless gesture. It's a clear sign that she's comfortable, attracted, and perhaps even hoping you'll pick up on her vibe. You must understand the Stoic life is about reading beyond the surface, about understanding the small gestures that tell the bigger story. And this is one story that should not be missed. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 3. The intense gaze. The intense gaze. Understand its power. It's not just a look. It's a weapon, a signal, a message delivered without words. Women know this. A woman locks eyes with you, her face fully turned toward yours, as if the world around her disappears, leaving just you and her focus. It's deliberate. It's magnetic. The gaze lingers, drawing you in with a force that doesn't scream, but instead pulls you into a quiet, intimate space. She's not just looking. She's letting you know she's intrigued, and you feel it. Her relaxed features, a soft smile, the tilt of her head, exposing her neck, an instinctive and vulnerable gesture that invites you in. She brushes her hair back, drawing attention to her face, and leans in as if pulled by some gravitational force. These are not random actions. They are part of a dance, a deliberate exchange. Think of a crowded cafe. You glance across the room, and there she is, catching your eye. She holds your gaze as she stirs her drink, then glances down with a slight smirk before meeting your eyes again. Chin lifted, lips parted. This is no accident. It's her silent invitation. Her gaze is a spotlight, shining directly on you, signaling curiosity and confidence without a single word. It says, "Come closer." The intensity is palpable, urging you to make your move. Understand this. This is an art form. In a world full of distractions, this gaze cuts through the noise. It's the ultimate nonverbal cue that speaks louder than anything spoken. In modern life, we often overlook the power of subtlety, but the Stoic principles teach us to focus on what matters and remain calm amidst the chaos. In relationships, as Marcus Aurelius would advise, it's essential to maintain self-control and poise, even when faced with such potent signals. Women, much like men, seek connection, but they do it in ways that draw you in without demanding it. The intense gaze is their way of testing your awareness, of seeing if you can recognize the signals they're sending. This isn't about being passive or waiting for a sign, it's about responding with the same intensity. Don't just observe, engage. The key to navigating these moments is understanding that life isn't about waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's about seizing what is right in front of you. Recognize the power of the gaze. Don't shy away from it. Lean into it. Respond to it with confidence. Remember, Stoic principles tell us that the world is full of distractions, but by mastering your responses, you remain in control. Take what's offered with strength and clarity. Women want you to step forward, to take the lead, to recognize the power of the present moment. The intense gaze is her silent invitation, and it's up to you to decide if you'll accept it. Keep your focus, remain stoic, and act with purpose. Life isn't just about observing. It's about mastering what's before you and moving forward with conviction. Seize the opportunity, recognize the signals, and make your move with authority. Remember, it's not about waiting. It's about engaging when the moment presents itself. The intense gaze is your signal. 4. Bites her lower lip. If you're a modern Stoic, you understand the art of observing life's subtle signals. One of the most intriguing of these signals comes from women, and it's something that seems so simple, yet carries a weight of meaning. Biting her lower lip. Don't underestimate the power of this gesture. It's not just a random or nervous habit. It's a direct and intentional message, delivered without a single word. That tiny movement of her teeth gently grazing her lip can captivate you, pulling your attention to her lips and causing your mind to wonder. What's going on inside her head? Whether in the middle of an engaging conversation, a burst of laughter, or a playful moment between you two. This small act is enough to shift the energy in the room. It's a universal sign of flirtation, signaling attraction or, at the very least, a deeper interest than what's immediately apparent. As a modern Stoic, you might see this for what it is, a form of communication that's often overlooked or brushed aside. Yet, if you're paying attention, it's an unmistakable sign that she's intrigued, excited, or drawn to you, even when it's subconscious. Perhaps because she's feeling shy, nervous, or even just excited around you. This gesture is unmistakable. Think about it. You're talking, perhaps telling a funny story or making her smile. Suddenly, her smile softens, and for just a fraction of a second, her teeth gently press into her lower lip. At that moment, time seems to stretch. You sense a shift, a small, intimate moment that's unspoken but powerfully felt. This move adds an undercurrent of playfulness and mystery to your interaction, a signal that she's not just listening to you, but that she's thinking about something else entirely. Is it curiosity, attraction? The beauty of being a modern Stoic is that you don't need to chase after every signal or interpret each tiny detail with urgency. But don't ignore this one. Women know the power of Stoicism in their own subtle way. They hold back their true thoughts just enough to leave you wondering. And this lip bite is an invitation to decode that mystery. That's the blessing of Stoicism at work. It's about recognizing when someone is letting you in, even when they're not speaking directly. When a woman bites her lower lip, she's not just focusing on the conversation, she's signaling that something deeper is at play. It's a playful yet intimate expression, one that speaks louder than words. And as an old Stoic, you must remember that understanding these small moments is key. Don't miss the opportunity to interpret her unspoken message. The lip bite is just one of the many ways she'll show interest. And if you're aware, you can read it for the treasure that it is. So, be alert, be aware, and let the wisdom of the Stoics guide you through this intricate dance of attraction. If you've noticed her biting her lower lip, you know what that signals: attraction, curiosity, and a touch of mystery. It's a subtle yet powerful gesture that speaks louder than words. Now, if you get it, drop a comment right now. I recognize the signs of attraction. Hit like, subscribe for more unshakable insights. And remember, attraction isn't just physical, it's the energy you create. 5. Crosses and uncrossed legs. Think of legs as silent storytellers, a hidden language that speaks volumes without a single word. A woman's legs, when they cross and uncross with subtle grace, are not just adjusting her comfort, no. They're making a statement. They're whispering secrets, like a soft but powerful rhythm, signaling attraction and engagement. This movement is far from random. It's a coded message you must learn to read. Here's the thing: when a woman shifts her legs restlessly in your presence, there's a purpose behind it. It's more than just a subconscious attempt to find comfort. It's about tension and release, a visual dance that mirrors the ebb and flow of your conversation. It's a silent invitation, a way of saying, I'm aware of you, I'm aware of us. Without ever uttering a word, let's paint the scene. You're sitting across from her at a dimly lit bar. The atmosphere is charged, laughter mingling with the low hum of conversation, the clink of glasses punctuating the air. She starts with her legs crossed away from you, almost as if she's signaling distance, creating an invisible boundary. But then, as you lean in with a joke or a story, she uncrosses her legs slowly. One knee brushes lightly against yours under the table. It's almost accidental, but not quite. It's calculated, a move meant to draw you in closer, to engage you just a little bit more. Later, she crosses her legs again, this time pointing them towards you. Her shoe grazes your calf, a deliberate touch, brief, but filled with meaning. Her eyes catch yours, her lips curling into a playful smirk. You feel it. The tension in the air shifts. Her body is in tune with the rhythm of your conversation, mirroring your movements, your words, your energy. This isn't happening. It's an invitation wrapped in silent gestures. You must understand this movement is no accident. These subtle shifts in posture are physical punctuation marks, adding emphasis to the spoken word, making your connection feel deeper, more intense. It's as if her body is drawing a roadmap to intimacy, signaling that she's aware of you, that she's invested in this moment, in you. It's a Stoic lesson in patience and presence. It's an invitation to engage with the moment, to acknowledge the subtle currents beneath the surface. Think about the Stoic life for a moment. The ancient philosophers taught us to observe, to be present, to not rush to conclusions. In the same way, her leg movements demand your presence. It's not about making snap judgments. It's about understanding the deeper currents, recognizing the meaning behind the gesture, and responding with awareness. You must be alert to these small cues because, often, they hold the most profound meanings. In essence, her legs are sending you signals of engagement, of interest, and of desire. But these signals are silent, subtle. Like the quiet teachings of Stoicism itself, they don't shout, they don't demand, they simply are, and you must be able to receive them. This isn't just about body language, it's about understanding the nuances of interaction, the dance of connection that goes beyond the surface. You must learn to read between the lines. You must learn to observe and, above all, to respect the moment. That's the essence of Stoicism, seeing things for what they truly are and responding with calm awareness, not overreaction. So the next time her legs cross and uncross in your presence, Don't dismiss it as mere fidgeting. See it for what it is, a deliberate, powerful gesture that tells you everything you need to know. She's engaged, she's interested, and she's waiting for you to meet her halfway. You must be present, you must be aware. That is the beauty of the unspoken, and that is a lesson in Stoicism. 6. Stands closer than necessary. When a woman stands closer than necessary, take notice. This seemingly small gesture is far more meaningful than you might think. In a world where personal space is often respected or even revered, her decision to occupy your space says a lot. It is a signal of her interest, a subtle yet deliberate choice to be near you. As Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When a woman stands closer than necessary, she is choosing to engage with you on a deeper level, cutting through the distractions and barriers that often separate people. She doesn't need to step into your personal space, but she does, and it's not a mistake. It's an invitation, a subtle manifestation of interest. Whether it's leaning in a little more during conversation, brushing shoulders in a crowded room, or standing just a bit too close for comfort, these actions are carefully calculated. This is a form of connection. The space between you isn't just about proximity, it's about drawing you into her world. She is signaling that she feels comfortable with you, that she wants to be closer, that she's open to whatever comes next. This is not random behavior, it's intentional and rooted in the desire for something more. You might notice this when you're alone, or even when you're surrounded by others. In a crowd, when she doesn't step away even though there's plenty of room, or in one-on-one moments where the gap between you is narrower than usual. It's not an accident. She's telling you something, but it's up to you to interpret it. Women are not always direct, but their actions often speak louder than words. The closer she stands, the more she is creating an opportunity for connection. If she consistently positions herself near you, the message is clear: she is comfortable with you. She is inviting you into her personal space, and she is giving you the chance to acknowledge her interest. As a modern Stoic, it's important to notice these signs without overanalyzing them. Trust in the moment and take the opportunity to engage. Be present, be aware. Don't let these chances slip by without acknowledging them. Remember the Stoic principle that the universe is changed, life is opinion, and how you perceive the world around you shapes your response to it. When a woman stands closer than necessary, don't dismiss it, don't hesitate. Recognize it as a signal of interest. Take the step to meet her where she is. Just as Marcus Aurelius would advise, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. In this case, being present, aware, and confident in your interactions is the mark of the modern Stoic. You have the power to master your responses and your life. You must take action. You must lead. If you find this valuable, like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember proximity speaks louder than words. 7. Runs fingers through her hair. When it comes to deciphering subtle signs of attraction, a woman running her fingers through her hair is a classic move that you, as a modern Stoic, should not overlook. It's not just some random habit, it's a gesture that speaks volumes about her interest. That delicate motion isn't accidental. It's a deliberate action that draws your attention to her in an effortlessly charming way. When she tucks her hair behind her ear or flips it to one side, she's not just adjusting her look, she's presenting herself in a way that invites you to notice her. It's the type of move that balances flirtation and vulnerability, like a quiet, unspoken invitation. Perhaps you're out on a date, enjoying an engaging conversation, when she casually runs her fingers through her hair, letting it cascade over her shoulder. It's not just a move to tame a stray strand. It's a calculated, subconscious way to keep your focus on her, to signal that she's not just physically present, but emotionally and mentally engaged with you in that moment. Now, as a modern Stoic, don't mistake this for mere nervousness. While it might seem like a simple fidget or a way to calm the nerves, it's far more profound. It is a display of attraction wrapped in the blessing of Stoicism, the balance of calm and subtlety in her actions, showing both ease and intent without being overt. Women, like the old Stoic masters, are adept at keeping their emotions in check. But this small, intimate action is their way of revealing a part of their feelings without saying a word. It's a telltale sign that the conversation is resonating with her, that she's present and tuned in, not just physically, but emotionally. So next time you notice that playful flick of her hair, don't miss the deeper meaning. It's her way of saying that she's not only listening to you, but hoping you'll notice her in the process. It's a delicate dance, a masterclass in nonverbal communication. And as someone who understands the nuance of the modern Stoic, you must recognize it for what it is. 8. Touch your arm or shoulder casually. When a woman casually touches your arm or shoulder, you might brush it off as just an accident or a friendly gesture. But let me tell you, it's far from insignificant. In fact, it's one of the clearest signals she could send without saying a word. These subtle, almost innocent touches, whether it's a light tap on your arm as she laughs, a soft hand resting on your shoulder, or a playful nudge during a conversation, are far from random. They are her way of creating a connection with you. You see, this isn't just physical contact, it's emotional intimacy in disguise. It's her way of saying, I feel comfortable with you. I want to be closer to you, but I don't want to force it. As a modern Stoic, you must recognize the power of such gesture. This touch isn't a flippant move. It's a calculated test, a subtle experiment to see how you react. Will you draw away or lean in? Will you reciprocate or remain indifferent? Women aren't in the habit of touching someone they aren't interested in. If she's casually placing her hand on your arm or shoulder, or nudging you playfully, it means she is testing the waters. She's gauging your response to see if there's potential for deeper connection. In Stoic terms, it's a silent, unspoken communication that shows vulnerability without overwhelming emotion. It's about balance, finding that sweet spot between wanting closeness and respecting boundaries. The Stoic life teaches us the value of control and emotional regulation. Yet this casual touch, though subtle, is filled with intent. Women, like you, are creatures of nuance and understanding. They don't throw around physical affection without thought. If she's touching you regularly, this is a sign that she's drawn to you, not just physically, but emotionally as well. That is a big deal. You must not underestimate these little gestures. They are the beginning of a connection. And if you understand them, you're already a step ahead. What's important here is that these touches are a clear demonstration of trust and comfort. If she's at ease enough to physically engage with you, without hesitation or awkwardness, it's because she feels safe. She's allowing herself to be vulnerable in your presence. And that, my friend, is something rare. Don't take it lightly. To her, it's a gesture that goes beyond mere flirtation. It's a way of saying, I trust you, and I'm comfortable with you enough to close the physical space between us. So, be aware. Recognize that the casual touch isn't just about affection. It's an invitation. It's an offer for something deeper, something more meaningful. As someone living a stoic life, you must approach this with the calm confidence that comes with understanding the value of emotional intimacy. Don't pull away or act aloof. Instead, appreciate the moment. Recognize her move for what it is, a step towards something greater. Embrace the opportunity to reciprocate, building on those tiny yet profound gestures. It's the Stoic lesson of quiet connection, showing that true emotional bonds are often forged through simple, natural exchanges. 9. Flirtatious smiles. If you're a modern Stoic, wise to the ways of life but always open to learning, you'll recognize that women have subtle, powerful ways of showing interest, and one of the most telling signals they use is a flirtatious smile. This isn't just a casual grin or a polite gesture. It's an invitation, an unspoken message sent through the curves of her lips and the spark in her eyes. A flirtatious smile isn't rushed or impersonal. It lingers, a soft but intentional act that speaks volumes. When a woman likes you, her smile may come with a tilt of her head or a playful raising of her eyebrows. She might hold eye contact just a second longer than usual, giving you the chance to wonder if there's something deeper behind her gaze. It's in the way she glances away with a quiet, private smile to herself, like she's savoring the moment. Sometimes, it's a slow, deliberate smile that spreads across her face, effortlessly drawing your attention. Other times, a playful smirk or a gentle bite of her lip can add just the right touch of mystery and allure. You may notice her smiling more when she talks to you, even if what she's saying isn't particularly funny, because it's not about the conversation, it's about the feeling you create. This kind of smile is a silent form of communication, a sign that she's interested in you and wants you to know it. As a modern Stoic, you understand the value of subtlety, but also the power of being attuned to these little moments. This is the blessing of Stoicism, seeing beneath the surface of things. Understanding that every smile, every glance, and every word has meaning. The old Stoic understood that women have their own ways of connecting, and this flirtatious smile is one of the clearest examples. You must be aware, don't miss it, pay attention, because the deeper meaning is there, waiting for you to discover. 10. Shifts her posture toward you. When a woman shifts her posture toward you, it's more than just a mere adjustment. It's a powerful, unspoken statement that she's drawn to you. In the intricate dance of attraction, body language speaks louder than words, and when she angles her body in your direction, it's as though she's dialing up the volume of her interest. A woman doesn't need to vocalize her feelings for you to know she's paying attention. Her body will do all the talking. If her shoulders square to you, her knees point your way, or she leans in closer as you speak. It's not an accident. These are subtle yet unmistakable signs, clear messages that she's locked into the moment, completely engaged and intrigued by you. As a modern Stoic, you must recognize that these signs are not random gestures. They are signals embedded in her subconscious, letting you know that you're not just another person in her orbit. It's a way of showing you that she's truly present, paying full attention, and inviting you into her space. Imagine sitting in a cafe, initially feeling a casual distance, but as the conversation flows, you notice her posture mirroring yours. Maybe she leans forward as you lean in, or she rests her elbows on the table at the same time you do. If she tilts her head when you laugh, or if her foot accidentally brushes against yours. These are all actions rooted in a deeper, non-verbal language of attraction. She's not just being friendly. She's showing you she's locked in, that she's focused on you, and that there's an unspoken connection between you two. As an old Stoic would suggest, These small yet significant shifts are the kind of signals that a modern Stoic must learn to read with both precision and wisdom. When a woman shifts her posture toward you, don't ignore it. Recognize it for what it is, a direct, a primal form of communication. It's a blessing of Stoicism, allowing you to see the subtle nuances that most people miss, which ultimately deepens your understanding of human interaction. If you found this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom to interact with the channel. Comment below. I recognize the signs of attraction and I stay focused on what matters. Let's hear your thoughts. Remember, your awareness and focus are your greatest strength. Women have their own way of showing interest, and if you know what to look for, you'll never be left guessing. Pay attention to the small gestures because they speak louder than words. Remember, it's not about playing games or overanalyzing every little thing. It's about understanding the subtle cues and being aware of the way someone communicates without always speaking. Take note of the little actions and energy they bring, and use that as a guide. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights. Stay sharp, stay mindful, and I'll see you in the next one.